What's up, y'all? It's Enoch again in the shed. Alright, so I'm gonna go through some nofap tips with you. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so this is the tips for semen retention. Alright, make sure when you go to sleep, you do not have your legs together. Go to sleep on your back. I used to sleep on my side all the time, and I did that for like a whole month of sleeping on my side, and I went a whole almost a whole month. I went 22 days or something by sleeping on my side. And then all of a sudden I just started relapsing. I was having wet dreams every night, and from sleeping on my side. It was like sleeping on my side wasn't working anymore or something. And yeah, it just wasn't working sleeping on my side. So then I got the idea to just sleep on my back, and then that worked like butter. But I can kind of sleep on my back sometimes, but it doesn't always work. But when you go to sleep, you got to make sure your legs aren't together. You got to make sure you got space. All right, make sure that you get a good amount of vegetables. If you think you didn't get enough, one time I didn't eat enough vegetables for the day. I didn't eat a daily serving or something. And that made me feel like I didn't get enough vegetables. I'd ate some freaking celery, and I'd only ate 4 little sticks that were this big. And I just figured I should eat more. I don't know, I was having some trouble sleeping last night. I don't know. And I didn't eat enough vegetables. And that's what I learned from that. Always make sure you eat enough vegetables, or if you didn't eat enough fruit or something, you want to get some fruit in there or something. These are just tips, these are tips. Alright, when you wake up from a wet dream, give yourself a lot of space. And now, what do I mean by this? Alright, when you wake up from a wet dream, give yourself a lot of space. I don't know what I mean by that. When you wake up from a wet dream, give yourself a lot of space. Well, when I wake up... alright, so, sometimes, when you keep having wet dreams, you should know what a wet dream is like. Basically, if you wake up from a wet dream, if you know you're in a wet dream, you want to just do your best to wake yourself up. I know this might sound impossible, but if somehow, I'm just saying, if somehow you wake up and you wake up and you're able to move, and you're about to start having a wet dream, you wake up and your seeds start to come out, just stand up or something, open your legs, your legs might be tight or something, open your legs and just start breathing deep breaths or something, and be don't come out, just pray it won't come out, and then you might pre-cum or something, but that's not as near as bad as having a full-on wet dream. So alright, someone's calling my phone. Alright, so when you have wet dreams, you're wasting all of your food that you pretty much eat. Yeah. Alright, so what I was saying was, when you have wet dreams, you're wasting all of your food that you pretty much eat. So like, I don't know, like screw all the bullshit. Like, don't be like afraid to like go to sleep and have like don't just say, oh, I'm gonna just force myself to have a wet dream because I'm fearful or something. Like, like you're eating all your nutrients. It's just best to like say screw all the belief systems or whatever and just go in there and get through another day of retaining. You want to have as little wet dreams as possible, because every time you lose your seed energy, you pretty much lose all of your energy as much as before you were even on nofap, or even if you pre-cum. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, you always want to avoid wet dreams, pretty much, because the more you do that stuff, every time you do it, it's just bringing you back to when you first started. So I mean, it's best to just not it's best to be serious about this, and because every time you have a dream, you're gonna get set back to day one. So yep, that's that. I mean, so I just because you only have to sleep a little bit longer until your alarm goes off doesn't mean it's okay to just lay on your back with your legs right. Just I've been in this scenario so many times before. I'll just I'll wake up at an hour before my alarm goes off, and then I'll just go in some random sleep position because I think I'll be good or something, and then I end up falling asleep or something. Or even if I did think I was gonna fall asleep, I would just think that I would be good, oh yeah, I'll just sleep through this hour. But nah, I go to sleep and then I wake up, and then I'm back at day one pretty much, or whatever. So I mean, alright, so here's the next one. If you have a wet dream, make sure you have one wet dream and not two. So if you happen to have a wet dream in the night, which you shouldn't be, because I'm teaching you how to not have them, right? Yeah, if you have one though, make sure it's not two in the night or three. I mean, if you have one, you might want to keep it at one, because I mean, you're gonna be it's gonna bring your energy way down. When you go to sleep, ask. Alright. So when you go to sleep, ask the semen retention gods that you will not have any wet dreams. So just when you go to sleep, ask the semen retention gods and tell them to not let you have a wet dream tonight. I don't really use this one anymore, because I mean, I've kind of got the rundown of them just letting me do that or whatever. Alright, here's the next one. Don't sleep with two blankets, or don't sleep with a heavy blanket, because if you sleep with heavy blankets and stuff, it's going to stimulate you downstairs, and that'll cause you to have a wet dream. So use a light blanket. Alright, so here's the next one. Yeah, light blankets. Alright. Make sure you have at least 95% of each nutrient, because if you don't, it will be less easy to sleep, right? So you gotta have 95% of each nutrient, because if you don't, you're gonna be tossing and turning. It's gonna be feeling like someone's digging a knife in your back or like something, and you're just gonna feel the need to like get in a position where you'll get messed up in the middle of the night with a wet dream. Uh, all right, yep. Now here's all right. Here's the next one. Treat every day like it's your first day on nofap. Don't just like be like uh acting like, oh yeah, like say you're on like day like 26 or something. Don't be like, oh yeah, like I'm almost to 30 or whatever, and like you just want to always be treating it like it's your first day on this like of your journey or whatever. I heard someone say this. I thought it was pretty cool. If you don't have enough time to finish all of your water, don't guzzle it all down in one sitting. Just give it some time and go to sleep later. Yeah, like, so if you don't, you gotta drink your water 1 hour before going to sleep, before you head to sleep, and you need to like eat all your food before 2 hours of going to sleep. And if you haven't got all your nutrients, or you haven't drunk all the water that you need to in a day or whatever, don't just like guzzle it all down like 10 minutes before you go to sleep, and then just like expect to not have a wet dream. Uh and don't do that with food either. You want to eat all your food and then like wait 2 hours. You want to drink all your water and then wait an hour. Like, don't just like wing it and just hope for the best. I mean, you can drink like a little bit of food and eat a little bit of drink, like, or vice versa. But yeah, don't expect to eat a Thanksgiving meal and then just go to sleep. If you didn't get all your nutrients, just keep eating a bunch of food until all your requirements are met. So if you go above all of your calories that you have already eaten, say you're at 25,000 calories, um you still have only like 90% of your vitamin E. You better eat a whole bunch of peanut butter and you'll be at like 3,900 calories. Screw it. I mean, that's a lot of calories, but at least you're getting your nutrients. And I don't know if it's exactly 95% of all your nutrients, but yeah, I mean, that's what I've gotten away with. One time I just had it at 95 and I was pretty good. All right. All right. You need to plan ahead on nofap. Think about what might affect your journey. Like, yeah, like, don't get over too bombarded with stuff, and like make sure like you have your whole sleeping area all like coded out or whatever. Like, just, I don't know, if like people are like bugging you and bombarding you with stuff, like slow down and like make your top priority making sure that you're adequate enough to get through like to the next day or whatever. Not saying like get to the next day like something like that. Like, it's important to like not like, I don't know. I know I'm like saying like, oh yeah, the retention wet dream guy, but like, yeah, you want to make sure like you can get to the next day, like, because if you have a wet dream, like your energy is just gonna go down like this, like that, and that's, I mean, it's better to have more energy. Yep. Now, Alright, always make sure you're making everyone known they're being nice. Oh shoot. Oh, I didn't mean to write. Alright. Theory is that whenever you go to sleep on your side, you have a way chance of coming, but when you lay on your back, you're dank. Now, what I mean by this is, I used to be able to go to sleep on my side all the time. I didn't know. It's the Taoist monk sleeping position. It's how I used to sleep for 22 days, but then it just stopped working. I can do it sometimes, but it don't work anymore. Alright, make sure that you go to sleep without crossing your legs. Like, what I mean by this is, don't cross your legs when you go to sleep. Like, you know, make sure your legs are making it where you're breathable and while you're asleep. And another thing is, go to sleep naked. Uh, because if you don't, that might stimulate you in the wrong way. And the way to see what nutrients you have, go to chronometer.com. That's how you get all your nutrients, right? You go to Chronometer. Alright, now drink all of your fluids and eat all of your food before the recommended times. And, yep, that's the end of the video.